Many thanks for joining us on the news at 7 on the Unity Station, Nta Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has lauded the sustainable support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu towards the welfare, professional, and operational support to the Nigerian Army personnel. The Chief of Army was speaking during the inauguration of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Barracks in Asokoro. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
With this brief symbolic ceremony by President Bola Tinubu, officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army can now boast of additional befitting accommodation. The Chief of Army Staff, who commended the President for his continuous support, noted that improving the welfare of military personnel is critical to the success of ongoing internal security operations.
The Nigerian Army still faces an acute shortage of accommodation, which must be addressed as we continue to defeat insecurity nationwide and reintegrate frontline troops into the barracks. I am very confident that we can achieve this goal with the continued support from the federal government and other stakeholders.
He also acknowledged the efforts of his predecessors in the conceptualization and construction of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Barracks at Asokoro, stressing that the project will reduce the shortage of accommodation for Army personnel.
We have a very huge challenge when it comes to accommodation. And I noted the fact that over 40% of the Army as we speak are not accommodated. But we are lucky we have the support of Mr. President, who provided resources for this, and he has promised to provide resources for more, not only in Abuja, but the entire country. So we intend to do the best for our soldiers so that they can do their job well.
The barracks project that began in 2021 has 16 major general quarters, 34 brigadier general quarters, 264 corporal and below flats, worship and sports centers. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while inaugurating the project, described the barracks as a moral booster and also commended the security agencies for protecting Nigeria and Nigerians. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And as a cornerstone of national development, a sincere study of history to understand the present will help Nigerians forge new paths for the future, particularly by taking advantage of technology. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this while inaugurating the National Youth Service Corps Digital Museum of Dynamic History and Television Studio at the headquarters of the scheme in Abuja. State House correspondent Ademi Taiwo tells us more.
For several years since its establishment in 1973, the National Youth Service Corps has affirmed its commitment to the promotion of Nigeria's unity in diversity by promoting culture.
Useful to this generation and generations to come.
The establishment of this digital museum of dynamic history by the scheme is to further expand the frontiers of its mandate, leveraging digital technology in line with global best practices. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, while undertaking a guided tour of the museum, applauded NYSC for undertaking the project to further drive national integration and bridge gaps between youth potentials and community needs.
The Digital Museum, as I have been informed, is not merely a repository of artifacts. It is a dynamic chronicle of our shared history, values, and aspirations as a nation. It represents the various interventions the NYC members who, through their selfless service, have left indelible marks across diverse sectors. By embracing technology in this initiative, the NYC has aligned itself with global best practices, ensuring that the lessons and legacy of the scheme are accessible to all in line with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to harness innovation and technology to drive digital economy.
She notes the effort by the youth to preserve and promote Nigeria's history in a contemporary world affirms their strong belief in the unity of the country.
Whether facing challenges or opportunities, Nigerian youth rise with unshakable determination, proving that their strength lies in unity and promise of a brighter tomorrow for our nation.
I hope this initiative will inspire and show the courage of the young people encouraging them to contribute positively to the society.
As a center for historical research, the new digital museum is expected to preserve and project the historical legacies of Nigeria.
We hope that individuals will find the museum as a valuable resource, providing researchers with useful materials related to the scheme's contributions to national development.
The first lady, who also inaugurated a new studio of NYC Television, also participated as a guest in a maiden studio interview of the station. In Abuja, Adini Itaiwo, NTA News.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved the construction of Kuje to Pegi Community Road project. The minister announced this during the inauguration of the completed 5-kilometer Kuje dual carriageway. Onoze Yakubu has details.
The 5-kilometer dual carriageway constructed with solar-powered street lights is a long-time dream coming to reality for the residents of Kuje. Many describe the completed project as a lifesaver, owing to the deplorable condition of the road in the past.
I appeal to all of us, put politics aside, put sentiments aside, put ethnicity aside, put religion aside. When a man is doing well, speak to it that is doing well. When a man is doing well, support him so that you can get more.
You have brought democracy to the doorstep of the area council, which is the satellite town. And you have brought the government of the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu to the people of the area council.
Kuje Council Chairman Abdullahi Sabo commends the FCT minister's impactful leadership style and appeals for more infrastructure projects in the council, especially the 27-kilometer Kuje to Kwaku Road.
It is our belief and hope that our request, as usual, will receive your fatherly consideration and kind approval for the road and water project request to be captured in FCT 2025 budget. We are indeed very grateful.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, described by many as a game changer, heeded to the chairman's request and gave his nod for the construction of the 2 road infrastructure projects and water supply.
Sometimes I see them at the gate of my office. They will carry placards and I'll be laughing. Today, let me tell you that Mr. President has approved again. We must have to continue Kuje to Pegi. As if the chairman knew when he said we should continue from where the road stops to Kwaku. Let me say it now, by the grace of God. When we are presenting our budget, our statutory budget, to the National Assembly, we will include it.
In the meantime, construction work on the Kuje-Gwagwalada road has commenced, with the contractor already mobilized to site. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
The Association of Resident Doctors, Federal Capital Territory Administration, has begun a 3-day warning strike to protest unpaid salaries, allowances, and other unmet demands. Health correspondent Sarafina Okun-Mekwe reports that the strike has disrupted services in government hospitals across Abuja.
Visits to Kuje, Nyanya, Karu, and Asokoro General Hospitals in the FCT revealed widespread compliance with the warning strike. In a telephone conversation, the leadership of resident doctors described doctors in Abuja as abandoned projects and urged the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to intervene promptly. They warned that failure to address their concerns could lead to an indefinite shutdown of hospital activities, although emergency services remain uninterrupted.
I came for scan, and afterwards I was supposed to see a doctor, but after doing the scan, they said that they are on strike. And the doctor was not on state to see me, so they said I should come back tomorrow.
Doctors are not on duty, and so it's not no services. It's only some of the nurses and the record departments are around, but the doctors are not available to render services.
Government officials were, however, not available to respond to the matter as they were all away on official assignment. Day one of the three-day industrial action embarked upon by the FCT resident doctors, pressing home their demand for a better pay. We've actually seen patients leaving the hospital feeling disappointed. Even those on appointment who ought to have seen their doctors today for follow-up are not able to do that as a result of the strike. But meanwhile, behind the camera, the hospital management has told us that they are actually rendering skeletal services. In Abuja, Serafina Okon Omekwe. Nta News.
Meanwhile, efforts are being intensified to ensure Nigeria meets the global mandate of leaving no child behind in immunization and access to healthcare facilities. This was made known by stakeholders at a town hall meeting for the Big Catch-Up campaign, which targets children who have missed vaccinations or never received immunization. Ramat Abdullahi has more.
Immunization is a life-saving technique introduced by the government to protect children aged between 0 and 59 months from deadly diseases. However, stakeholders revealed that over 3 million children under the age of 5, spread across 200 local government areas in Nigeria, have never experienced immunization, while others may have started but did not complete their dose. To bridge this gap, the Big Catch-Up campaign was launched with a target of achieving 65% coverage.
FCT happened to be one of them that has 4 local governments where we have these children that are missed. FCT has 6 area council, as we call it, but where we are conducting this Big Catch-Up is in Kuje, Kwale, Gwagwalada and Buare. This is where we are going to look out for these children, that we have high number of children that was missed out, that have not completed their routine immunization.
From 2019, we had a pandemic, COVID, that there was a lockdown. So many children were not vaccinated at that time. From 2019 to 2022, activities were down in terms of immunization to ensure that those children that were delivered at those times were vaccinated because of the restriction of movement and lockdown. So mothers were not opportune to go to the facilities to take immunization for their children.
Stakeholders were urged to mobilize their community by reassuring them of the safety of vaccines and for them to discard misconceptions and myths around immunization.
If they want this program to succeed, they must involve the men everywhere. You know, in religion, there are some women you can't do on your own except with your husband's decision. So they should involve the husband everywhere.
By today's market women meeting, by next meeting Wednesday, I'm going to tell them that they are starting campaign very soon for the immunization. Bring your children, let them immunize them for their future.
This big catch, we really need to go deeper within the rural areas to make sure that there's 100% participation.
The Big Catch-Up campaign will be conducted through regular routine immunization service delivery outreach. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Let's now join Sandra Akeme for happenings around the globe.
Welcome to the Globe this week. I am Sandra Akeme, and we'll be diving into the top stories making headlines around the world this week. Now in the United States, Donald Trump has signed a series of executive orders and directives aimed at reshaping U.S. priorities in various areas, including immigration, energy, and government operations. He declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, authorizing the deployment of troops and the continuation of border wall construction without congressional approval. Trump introduced a federal hiring freeze, excluding essential roles, and reinstated the controversial Schedule F category of federal workers. And now the Israeli Defense Forces launched Operation Iron Wall in Jenin on January 21, targeting Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and other armed groups. The operation is expected to last for several days, and so far, the IDF has reported hitting more than 10 terrorists, conducting airstrikes, and dismantling roadside improvised explosive devices. The situation remains tense with concerns about Iran's involvement in supporting armed groups in the West Bank. Moving to Turkey, a devastating fire broke out at the Grand Qatar Hotel in Bolu, Turkey, a popular ski resort, killing at least 76 people. The blaze started at 3:27 a.m. local time in the restaurant area on the fourth floor and quickly spread to upper levels. Emergency services faced challenges in responding promptly due to freezing conditions and the hotel's remote location. It took over an hour for them to arrive and 12 hours to fully extinguish the flames. Meanwhile, an investigation into the cause of the fire is ongoing, and authorities have arrested 9 individuals, including the hotel owner. On entertainment, Chris Brown is suing Warner Brothers Discovery for $500 million over a documentary titled Chris Brown, A History of Violence, released in October 2024. Brown's lawsuit alleges that Warner Bros. Discovery and the documentary producers promoted and published false information, despite being aware of its inaccuracy. He claims that the documentary has damaged his reputation, caused emotional distress, and negatively impacted his career and business opportunities. That's all for today's international news segment. Thank you for joining me. I am Sandra Akemi. And with the Globe, we end the news in English. Up next, translations. Have a good night rest.
Ama baje ba shaje wo wona yaki wo da ya da dai ba ku shakba dai yiwa na ba shi ba dai wo mu praise su yi ba wani ba ko na ba je dai ki tu ko dai bola ame tunubu la anyaku awewe aboda kawida anyagu ya wela abuga nge gwamnati ye ba su kwado ba ce aboda kawida kwa ba shi ba shi ba tu shi ko kuce ba ku ke ko yi ki tu ko da la kwa lawo aboda kawida she ba ku ke lo owin wagodo oge ehihie atụtụ isikwado ya tụ agbada ka wida bụkwu na baba agodo baji atụtụ shekwa kuche baji kpo itinye akizi na minista yensa wuke wala bagbatu ga anya aya ndị amata so kwaliko tutu ji anya nkwula kala okuje kwa ilo fagi onize yakubu wada nke minista yewe dabada da ilo sanu ngwobe egwu soko wowe ya okuje na kwakwa tutu zashini wuke wa gwado wai da ga gwamnati in kwaku kuje fage zako tuke ya zashi agbogbogbogbo baba gwa akadi ikizi ga ekwenye kwa mu enyawa yiku anabagi jagwa nga gwamnati a nai nyasa ashibashi atutu da bala ya ige mutaye munayi na tutulo aife iwa taya ba in haye ntu ba afiashe adiyogo gwamnati ya ece shi bani bado ungwai hasunu ance nado nsan barika ajiye in ata babayin ya sarafina kono kwe wada nge mutaye munayi la abon ya mwa na gwamnati a yansa ashiba shiba ntige a yansa ba pe ta ba wa za ba ta ba wa ashiba shigbon ma ba je nge ba kafunu agaba ba takwe ato nyanya ekwen akwaja afika ibeja na aba na baji wo su shekwasi ipaga shekwali jisu sai
Wobi gbekele munu nọ na akụkọ nke uhuruchi taa
aha m bụ Maazị Okwi Francis Ile. Onye isi ala Bola Tinubu nọrọ na ehihie taa mee mmemme mgbape ụlọ obibi ọhụrụ nke ọ rụpụtara ndị agha ala anyị akpọrọ Bola Ahmed Tinubu Barracks. O kwuru na nke a bụ iji gosi ndonye ukwu gọọmenti ya nye ndị agha ala anyị na mbọ ha na-agba ichekwaba obodo a bụ Naịjirịa. Minista Abuja bụ Nyesom Wike etinyela aka n'akwụkwọ ka amalite ịrụ ụzọ awara awara sitere Kuje gawa ime obodo Pegi. Ọnọzọ Yakubu mere ka amata na ọ bụ oge ya bụ minista na-agbape ụzọ dị kilomita 5 nke arụrụ na Kuje ka ọ nọrọ binye aka n'akwụkwọ ma kwuo ka a gaa n'ihu ma nye ọrụ ngo etu a ga-esirụ ya bụ ụzọ gara Pegi. Otu jikọtara ndị dibịa bekee nke Abuja akpọrọ ARDFCTA n'aha ịchafụ amalitego abụba ọrụ ịdọ aka na ntị abalị 3 taa iji gosi iwe obi ha na akwụbeghị ụgwọ nakwa ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ kwesịrị irute ha aka kemgbe ọnwa ole na ole gara aga. Sarafina Okonumekwe wetara akụkọ a mere ka anyị mata na abụba ọrụ aghatọkọrọ ọtụtụ ọrụ na ụlọ ọgwụ nke gọọmenti dịgasị iche iche nwe n'ime Abuja. Gịbụ onye ọma kiriri anyị na abalị taa ka ọ dịkwa na echi mgbe anyị nụrụ ga-ezute ọzọ.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́ gbogbo èèyàn ọmọ kóòtù òjìrì ìròyìn ló ń dé sójú ìròyìn láti lè ṣe NTA Abuja. Kúnlé Adélékè ìròyìn náà rèé. Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ní ọ̀sán òní bá wọn péjú síbi ayẹyẹ ìṣíde gbọ̀ngàn ológun ńlá kan níbi tó ti fi dá àwọn ènìyàn lójú pé ìṣèjọba wọn yóò máa tẹ̀síwájú nípa pípèsè ìrànwọ́ àti àwùjọ tó dára fún mímú ìlọsíwájú bá ètò ààbò lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ààrẹ ló gbóríyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ ọmọ ogun ilẹ̀ yìí fún dídáàbòbò orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti ìjọba àwarawa. Ààrẹ Tinubu sọ pé gbọ̀ngàn ológun náà ni yóò jẹ́ ibi àwáwò eléyìí tí yóò fi àyè sílẹ̀ fún gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà pàápàá jùlọ tí yóò mú àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lè yangàn láwùjọ. Mínísítà olú ìlú ilẹ̀ yìí Àbújá Nyesom Wike ti bu ọwọ́ lu ṣíṣe òpópónà Kuje sí Pegi ní ìlú Àbújá. Mínísítà ló kéde èyí ní àkókò ayẹyẹ ìṣíde àkànṣe òpópónà oní kìlómítà 5 tó wà ní agbègbè Kuje èyí tó ṣe parí ní ìlú Àbújá. Àpẹẹrẹ Ògúnṣe Yakubu tó bá wọn péjú síbi ayẹyẹ ìṣíde òpópónà náà ló mú ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà wá. Lákòótán, ẹgbẹ́ àwọn dókítà tó ń gbé ní agbègbè ilé ìwòsàn ní ìlú Àbújá lábẹ́ ìṣèjọba olú ìlú ilẹ̀ yìí ní FCTA ti gùnlé ìyanṣẹ́lódì oníkìlọ̀ fún ọjọ́ 3 láti fi ẹ̀hónú hàn lórí àwọn àjẹ́lẹ̀ owó oṣù àti àwọn àjẹbánu àti àwọn àjẹmọ́nú wọn pẹ̀lú àwọn ètò mìíràn tó wà lábẹ́ èyí fún wọn. Akọ̀wé alẹ́ka ètò ìlera Sarafina Okonumekwe jábọ̀ ìròyìn pé ìyanṣẹ́lódì náà ti ṣe àkóbá fún ìṣọwọ́ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ní ilé ìwòsàn ìjọba káàkiri ìlú Àbújá. Tó ìròyìn wa kò ní jù báyìí lọ fún títí àṣálẹ́ òní. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Kúnlé Adélékè nínú ìròyìn ó dàárọ̀ òun rẹ̀ lásán.